Alright, so let's get started with My Dear Hatchet Man. I've been hearing a lot about it, and like always, we're gonna turn down this stuff just a little bit because it can get to be a lot. But let's start. What is your name? The name be grave. Yes, yes, yes. It was somewhat of an old habit of mine to walk every night. I walked. Due to the consistency of my routine, walking has helped me. It's just too loud. There we go. Just the music is a bother. Okay, return. There we go. Due to the consistency of my routine, walking has helped me to put my mind at ease and numb out of the fresh, cool nights. Besides, it was a good source to wear me down before bed. I don't have to rely on sleeping meds as much. Sleeping meds, they'd be rough. There was nothing fun about laying in bed, having my eyes glued to the ceiling, and disassociating. God, are you sure? I feel like this is me because I do this. I have become so familiar with the path. Staring at the same damaged sidewalk, hitting a couple of pebbles with the tip of my shoe. I would usually disappear into the woods for 20 minutes or so. I wouldn't call myself a nature lover per se. Hell, I cannot imagine myself abandoning my phone. But at night, the woods were all I wanted. I don't know why, but this has been the only place that gave me motivation to get out of bed. College hasn't been too kind to me, and having just moved out on my own recently made me feel all the more isolated. That is actually something that people who go to college truly do feel constantly. They feel isolation and just kind of terror at the change, at the kind of being like, hey, guess what? You're getting sent down to the society as an adult. Was there something wrong with me? No. Taking little walks to relax at night and to sleep is normal. I never strayed far from my path. It has practically become burned into my memory, and I was kind of proud of that. It was like my own little secret hideout where, if I could, one day just disappear from it all. However, today I feel bold. And so I wandered off from my usual path, heading to the wild. At first, the new environment felt nice. Without noticing, time kind of flew by, and all my sense of direction withered away. Now I find myself confused and alone. In the woods. Fuck. I couldn't recognize any noticeable landmarks to help my way out. Oh, how funny is this? Bitch, it is not funny. You are in the woods. You do not know where you are. You lost your sense of direction because you said, let me get off the path. I'm sorry, but no. That's that I like to die in horror movies bullshit. Right there. I feel like the final girl of a campy slasher movie being tracked down by the killer. Because you are. Look at what happened. Fuck. I am so stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Of course I was going to end up lost. Great, now not only am I lost, it's dark, no stars, only the faint light of the moon, not doing much to help. But I'm also losing sleep as we know it. I can feel the soles of my feet starting to ache. Perhaps now might be a good time to collect myself before I have a full-blown meltdown in the middle of the woods. I lay my head low, feeling a heavy weight on me. I took a few deep breaths. We're going to stay silent. My hands creeped up to my arms, trying to give myself some sort of comfort. For God's sake, I really don't know where the hell I am. Snap. Exclamation points! The deafening silence was abrupted by what seemed like a twig. What the hell made that sound? I jumped, startled. I took a few steps back, nearly losing my balance. Wherever that sound came from, I didn't see anything. Aw, don't cry. A muffled voice came behind me. I quickly turned to see a person. I still could not make out his features well. His hair was wild, sticking out from the top of his head. He was holding something. A hatchet? Am I about to get murdered? My muscles tensed up as I prepared to make a break for it. He seemed not to notice my mannerisms. Hey. He held up his hand, letting the hatchet slip from his fingers and into the grass. His movements were slow and harmless. Take it easy. Who the hell are you? Just some guy trying to help you out. That's it. That wasn't very comforting at all. Especially now that he had reached over to the ground, retrieving his hatchet, and casually swung it over his shoulder. Why the hell did he sneak up to me like that? Why was he in the woods? Has he been following me? Where did you even come from? I live here, actually. Just a couple of miles. Got my own place and everything. Why do you have an axe? Also, I wasn't crying. It's a hatchet, first of all. Sure. Are you gonna murder me? What? No. I was getting some firewood. It started to get cold around here. I was still trying to come down from the adrenaline. I didn't even notice the chilly breeze. I started connecting the dots. He was probably telling the truth. I'm not at all experienced in forest living. Who am I to tell him that he doesn't know what he's talking about? So, why exactly did you come here? Well, you want to get out of here, don't you? I know my way around. Maybe I'm being too paranoid. He doesn't seem like he has any intention of hurting someone. Oh, he's so awkwardly cute. Look at that face. Look at that face. Look how awkwardly cute he is. You're a little murderer, aren't you? Seagrave, not everyone's out to get you. Just follow him. He can take you back home. In case you're still skeptical, you can go behind me. He offered out his hand. Of course, I hesitated, but I took it anyway. I could feel his fingerless gloves as he gave my hand a tight squeeze. He had some coarseness, but it didn't bother me. It took us a good while to get back. I must have really wandered way far off than I expected. The way some of these sentences are put together just makes me feel like I'm gonna chew on my own fucking tongue. The trees were becoming less dense, and I could see his traits more and more. His eyes were particularly striking. They were both different. I shouldn't be staring. Seems kind of rude. In fact, the whole time I've been acting rude, huh? Hey, Sorry for being kind of reluctant back there. Excuse me? No, do not apologize for being reluctant when you meet a stranger in the woods. This is normal. This is normal behavior. He simply shrugged and smiled at me. I don't blame you. I mean, if I was in your position, I probably would have freaked out if I saw some random guy with an axe approach me as well. Hatchet. Sure. That seemed to get a laugh out of him and let some of the tension. As well, it's been a while since I laughed. Nowadays, it's been feeling like I have been so isolated. I'm surprised I could achieve a conversation with him, let alone other people. With time, the dirt path merged with the edge of the sidewalk. Thank God we made it. What a relief. There you go. Oh my God, thanks. I didn't notice that I was still holding his hand. He gave me a small smile before I stuffed my hands into my pockets. Other than having a breakdown in the woods, this entire experience wasn't that bad. I'll see you around then. He continued to stand in place while I turned my back from the woods, walking into my neighborhood once again. Stopping at the front door, I gave him one last wave. I couldn't really tell from a distance, but he seemed to wave back. I'm so tired. Exhausted, I immediately threw myself onto my bed, finally able to get some rest. My eyes, they feel heavy. That stranger, he seemed nice. I didn't catch his name. I'll ask him tomorrow. My body is aching. It feels like someone's on top of me. Oh God. How long did I sleep for? It seemed way too bright and to be early in the morning. I guess it must have been incredibly late when I slept. Last night, memories started flooding back to me. Back to the encounter I had with the stranger in the woods. I feel some sort of mix of comforting jitters sinking in. I had only moved in a few weeks ago. But now knowing that he had been in the woods the entire time, I have been exploring them, it was a little uneasy to process. It's like part of my privacy has been exposed. To be fair, I do feel a little silly thinking that I didn't own the woods. If anything, I invaded his privacy by going off my usual path. Although I haven't lived here for very long, I am surprised I haven't heard about a man living in the forest. Then again, it's not like I'm really chatty with the neighbors to inform me about it. Was I thinking too much about this? Am I being insensitive? Should I be feeling like I want to run into him again? I didn't ask for his name. Check out the phone. Before doing anything, I wanted to catch up on what's been happening. I only seen one message. It was an unknown number. Open message. Hey, Do you know the chapter we were studying for English? This is Erica, by the way. Oh, Erica, I remember her. She's part of my class. I could recall we exchanged phone numbers because our professor recommended it. She was the one who approached me. Didn't talk to her a lot. She didn't seem like the type, but would casually answer questions in class. One thing that stuck out, however, was she had an incredible style. She had an eye for colors and patterns from what I could tell. It was surprising that she wasn't taking a fashion course, but instead an interior design course. Erica was cool, and she seemed like she had her shit together, unlike me. Chapter 4, I believe. With a groan, I forced myself up from the comfort of my bed. To be honest, it seemed better to do something than be slacking around in my sheets. This has been the first time I have been motivated to do anything in a while. That's kind of sad. Listen, it is sad, but it be like that. Like depression, changes, all that is okay. It is okay, baby. It's okay. Thanks. Question marks. Sorry, can you tell I don't text often? That made me smile, just a tad. It seems like a stupid decision to go back to the forest just to thank some stranger. Dangerous, some might say. I mean, at least the sun was still out, so it wouldn't be as bad as staying in the woods at night, right? I stuffed my phone into my pocket and prepared to get ready. I walked back into the familiar path. The cool air was sharp as ever. I could feel it nipping at the tip of my nose. I tried to recall the path I took that initially got me lost yesterday. It didn't take long for me to fall back into a daze, feeling senselessly strayed. Alright, Grave. Just thank him and you can go on your merry way and get some shut-eye. Simple as that. Thoughts started to speculate in my head the more I paced around in a frantic circle. Excuse me, but why did you just wake up, immediately go to the woods after checking your phone? Which I know, I made you check the phone. Anyway, why did you go to the woods after checking your phone and then go and just... Why? This is not sensible behavior. What is this? Why am I being stupid? I don't know. He should be here, right? Let's hope not. Why did I think this was a good idea? I don't know. What you been smoking? Can I get some? Because apparently you got whatever is all the rage right now. It would be nice to have someone to share the woods with. What if he hurts me? Like he did. Oh, you're here again? Oh, thank God. It might have been my desperation, but the sound of his voice took off a huge wave of relief. I turned around too eagerly, seeing a smug expression on his face. He made me happy in a way. Honey, sweetheart, you going a little too hard on this man. You've just met him. You know nothing of him. You don't even know his fucking name, and you're like, oh, he makes me happy. Bruh. You seem to get easily lost. What if I wasn't here to help you out? Doe eyes. Oh, okay. Doe eye, I like it, okay. His comment made me play with the hem of my sweater. I could feel my cheeks starting to burn. Hopefully he didn't notice. Well, I actually came to see you. Why did I say it like that? I wanted to thank you, properly, I mean. I know I already did last night, but I might have come off as crass, and I still feel bad about the whole ordeal. I started to ramble at this point. I needed to get this over with before coming off as hysterical. So, thank you. Alan. I'm sorry? My name is Alan. Might as well get it out of the way. Oh, well, thanks for helping me out, Alan. I gave his name a try. It came out softer than how I usually speak. I noticed him beginning to smile, avoiding eye contact. I was beginning to feel that the silence between us start to grow. No problem. Besides, it was really sweet of you to come back just to tell me that. Oh, he was flirting. Let's go with flattered. It was kind of cute how he became so bashful then flirtatious so suddenly. I couldn't help but smile back at him. We began to start a whole different conversation from there. At first, it was just regular small talk, most of it about me, of course. I told him what I did for a living and what I was currently studying. He seemed to be a good listener, or at least I think he was trying to be. It became evident that I kinda ran out of things to talk about. It was only fair to ask about him, right? I don't want to make it seem that I only like talking about myself. Not to sound rude or anything, but... I'm a little curious about your whole thing here. Oh, I know I just moved in, and it's none of my business, but why do you live all the way out here? How come no one has ever told me about you? He seemed to give some thought to my questions. He simply gave me a shrug. Don't know. I always figured I lived better on my own, I guess. At least that's what every day someone just comes back to thank you for helping them out of the woods. For a loner, he sure was easy to talk to. He was the one to first start a conversation better than I ever could. Hey. He snapped me out of it, like he knew I was about to get lost in my thoughts. Wanna go check something out? I think you might like it. I blinked. The way he worded it sounded very vague. I don't know. Depends. Are you gonna trick me and plan my murder? It sounds very fishy of you, Alan. I joked, and he seemed to get a good laugh out of it. It was not a very good joke, but it felt good to just laugh with someone. Maybe I needed this. I just needed to talk to someone. Yeah, you lonely as fuck. The internet exists. This is how most of us have friends now. You're just like, I gotta go out into the world and talk to a person. I mean, now you got me curious. Might as well, right? Good. He seemed extremely pleased that I agreed. He took hold of my shoulder and guided me in the direction he planned to take me. We both took our time walking through the forest, having a whole conversation to make up for it. It felt like being reunited with an old friend and trying to catch up on our lives together. It was nice. I began sharing some stuff to Alan that I haven't been able to talk about for a while. In return, he told me little things about himself. I took notice of him trying to crush crunchy leaves under his shoes, sometimes getting bummed out if it didn't crunch. It was kind of cute. I noticed his skin looked slightly more sickly pale. Tiny but still noticeable scratches across his cheeks. And his eyes bore dark circles, almost like he was about to collapse, but he looked so gentle. He seemed to have noticed that I was looking at him. Oh no, I got caught. I ducked my head, scratching the side of my cheek. Before I could come up with an excuse that I totally wasn't staring at him, Alan pushed my head down, getting onto my knees rather playfully. What the? Shh. Alan crouched down beside me, carefully moving closer to what seemed like a small stream, with wildflowers and vegetation, almost like a mini meadow, covering the entire land. Then I see a deer. It was happily nibbling on some grass and occasionally would twitch its cute fluffy tail. Both me and Alan didn't move a muscle, so as not to scare the creature, but we still enjoyed the view. Little cute, ain't he? I always come here to see if he's around. That was adorable. Who knew Alan had such a sensitive soul? At least that's what I thought. It may not come as a surprise to you, but... Oh. Alright, so I'm going to save here in the empty slot. And we're going to pause.